Hello and welcome to Goats and Dragons, the stream where Helpful Goat Gaming plays Dungeons and Dragons, a game of shared storytelling where I try to kill my friends. I'm Andrew Gilbert, the benevolent dictator of Helpful Goat Gaming, but tonight I'm your friendly neighborhood dungeon master. And I'm not alone. With me, as always, is the unbenevolent dictator of Helpful Goat, Galway, playing the Tiefling Sorcerer Charity.
Hey, everybody.
Adam, playing the Halfling Rogue, Burbage Kemp.
Hi, everyone. Hope everyone's doing okay.
Lena, playing the Goliath Barbarian Stormbringer.
Hey.
And Darcy, playing the Tiefling Cleric Hakari.
Wake up in the morning smelling like Puppet City. I got my sword, I'm out the door, I'm gonna wake the city. Now the elves are lighting up cause they hear they got swagger, but we kick them to the curb unless they look like Lad Hamster. I'm talking everybody getting crunk, trying to grab all them boys junk, gonna kick me out if I'm getting too drunk.
Oh my god. I laughed so hard at that my headphones are repeatedly in danger of coming off of my head. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. Thank you, Darcy.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
And hey, if we could real quick run through pronouns. I am he, his, him, and my dungeon master doesn't have pronouns.
I was gonna say, and your everything else with regard to NPCs. Galway, he, him, his. Charity, also he, him, his.
If we are sorry,
no,
we're going in the order of the credits. Adam identifies as he, him, his, and Burbage also uses he, him, his pronouns.
Wow, I'm glad I unmuted myself for coughing. Anyways, I'm she, her, hers, and Stormbringer is also she, her.
I am they, them, theirs, and what's my person called? Hakari is she, hermers.
He,
hermers. She, hermers. Gotcha. Love it. Lots of good prep work went into tonight's episode.
I think those are Hakari's pronouns once she's drunk enough.
Yeah.
Whose bag is this?
Awesome.
How many drinks has Hakari had? I think they're shrooms.
10 to drink Hakari.
10 to drink. Wow.
10 to drink.
Has Darcy had some?
No.
And welcome. Thank you so much for listening to us tonight. We're going to be recording our podcast live on Twitch. Feel free to hang out in the chat, ask any questions you want. We're generally pretty interactive. We also have a great community of people who are listening who can answer some questions or talk to you or just, whatever you want to do. That's totally fine. And if you like that feel and you want to join our Discord, you can go ahead and type !Discord in the chat and then go ahead and follow that link all the way to Discord. That'll be fine. I think it works. You can also type !Burbag to use the Burbag Gambit. That's always fun.
And if you're listening to this in podcast form, the Discord link will be in the episode description.
Oh, beautiful. Excellent. And for those, thanks for joining the Discord recently. Bell Pepper, D&D Nerd, Hyperdragon, Zevik, Liquid Medic Senpai, Corgi, Simon G, Knickknacks, and Gross It's Rachel. We love you. Thank you so much. And we do have a bonus episode that we put together that has already been released. It is a D&D experiment in which I DM'd for 3 different players the exact same scenario that fit into the canon of our world as possible stories that Burbage had heard regarding how this one halfling woman got a tooth from a white dragon, and it's a brilliant and it's hilarious and funny. And we have KT from Pork Fried Dice as one of the players. Our great friend Elise, who's amazing and just fascinating, and does a really good job. And Rachel of Gross It's Rachel was our third player, and they all did so great. They all did
Rachel
so
of
amazing.
Rachel,
Of the
if
fame,
it's
yeah, Gross It's
Gross,
Rachel.
it's Rachel.
You may know them as Gross It's Rachel. That's fascinating and amazing. You should check that out. That's in our Goats and Dragon feed currently. We also have our second podcast feed, which is Helpful Goat Gaming Presents, and that is one where we play one shots and shorter campaigns. We are currently in a campaign right now that Galway is DMing called Tier Beyond the Doors. It's fun and brilliant and fascinating, and honestly, I can't wait to see what happens in that. And I get to play in that, which is always fun.
Yay.
Yay! We are also affiliate, which means that you're able to cheer and subscribe to us. And as a reminder, anyone who has Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free to us through Twitch Prime. It's super easy to link those accounts to get that all set up. And thank you just for, in general, supporting us, following us on Twitter, on Twitch. We love it. If you really want to help us continue doing what we love doing here, monetarily, you could go to our coffee page. It's co-fi fi
It's in the chat.
.com/helpfulgoat. Oh, and it's in the chat. Awesome.
Exclamation point donate is that command.
Oh, that's really sweet. Please don't feel pressured, because we know the times that we're living in. Everyone's going to be pinching some pennies and keeping things a little,
Overthrowing the government.
overthrowing the government and whatnot, and that costs a little bit of money to overthrow governments. So don't feel pressured. It's just something. If you have some extra money and you want to help out some streamers and podcasters, we would be super honored if we were among those people that you chose to do that with. I think that does it for announcements. Anything else you can think of?
I think just generally following on that donation sentiment, also, we hope all of you that are listening to this, whether it's live or in the future when we've released it in podcast form, are safe, are well, are dealing with the entire isolation. And I think I can speak for everyone here when we hope that getting to listen to the story of the family and getting to listen to these stories that we tell provides some entertainment and some solace in some tough times.
100%. And yeah, we have so much story. We have hundreds of hours at this point for you to enjoy your quarantine with. And yeah, if we can we could just make this time a little easier for you, God, that's perfect. That's awesome. We're happy we could do that.
That being said, we are retroactively renaming the Fire Blight Corona Blight.
We are not doing that.
That's not
Fire Corona?
That's not going to help anybody?
That's not
going to help. Okay.
Yeah. I have an announcement. The announcement is that it's Andy's birthday.
Oh, that's right.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Andy!
Andy.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Your wife forgot.
They didn't forget.
He never wants any. He's trying to save up money for something, so he never wants anything to unwrap. So it's like boring.
It's not boring because it's his birthday. It's exciting.
Yep.
I love it. Well, cool. All right. I think we're ready then to get into tonight's episode of Goats and Dragons. seamless.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Andy. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Andy.
I'm dying.
That was beautiful.
I'm dying.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh, ridiculous.
Well,
So many new friends. I forgot.
previously on Goats and Dragons, The Fates of Rin, Burbage sacrificed his family's artifact, Bright Fang, by giving it back to the dragon whose tooth it was made from. In return, the dragon, content to seemingly remain absent from the world of people, disappeared in a puff of snow and rumblings of the iceberg itself. The immediate danger abated. The group went back to solving Isrek Devir's final puzzle. And doing so, by Stormbringer licking the blue orb, were transported yet again to a cave system, finely wrought and decorated and inhabited by clockwork puppets. The puppets led you to a circular, jade-floored platform in the middle of which was a pedestal on which a brain was floating in a jar, seemingly still alive and seemingly controlling the puppets around it. This is what's left of Isrek Devir. And now, as he has beckoned you to sit and rest, to have a conversation, he has made his puppets bring leather-worked cushions and chairs and tables with teas and sweets, and a low round table filled with various dried meats and fruits. As you take a breath, you smell cinnamon and hazelnuts, roasted fruit, teas, and something with a twinge of lemon that you can't quite place.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Nothing smells like almonds, does it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
You settle your nerves. You bring feeling back to your fingers and toes in the relative warmth of this still cold cave. And you are exhausted. And a voice now comes from the hooded, red-eyed puppet. Now, friends, having gone to all the trouble just to see little old me, what is it I can do for you? What is it that... What do you know already? Where can I fill in the gaps?
Charity's going to sort of glance from side to side at the rest of the family. There does seem to be a great deal going on. There's so much to tell. There's so many questions. Burbage, what do you think?
It's so warm in here compared to out there.
No, it's
Wherever we
really
were. Oh my god, is that lemon I smell? Lemon and nutmeg?
And cyanide.
What?
Cyanide.
Yeah, a little bit of lemon. There's some lemon in the tarts as well.
Awesome. Yeah, cool. Yeah. All right, so here we are with Israk Devere, or
Yes.
somebody claiming to be Israk Devere.
Oh, yes.
Right.
You seem to know my name. Would you mind sharing yours?
Tell us something that only Israk would know first, so we can make sure that you're you.
Stormbringer, I think we did that last time.
I forgot it. Do it again.
Yeah, for the fuck of it, why not, Israk? Go for it.
My middle name is Rosen.
But I don't know Israk's middle name.
Yeah, I think that's where this plan
Again,
sort
yeah,
of
that's-
falls apart.
That's fine. Keep asking me. I'll keep telling you. I have nothing to hide, obviously.
As the puppets go to and fro,
Yeah.
Hikari keeps like smacking him on the butt.
Wow.
Bring me more ale.
They've not brought you anything alcoholic, actually, of note.
Bring
All right.
me more ale.
Charity will sort of half bow towards the puppet and half towards like where the brain jar is. Because you said it recessed back into the floor, right?
Yes, you don't actually see the brain.
Yeah,
anymore. It
but
is
sort
gone
of
back into the
he's sort of splitting the difference between the two locations.
Yeah.
I am Caloran Charity of the family.
Ah, I see. Yes.
Bring me more ale. Smack.
Her name is Hikari. Hikari
lively.
Demarian. Yeah, she's lively.
Oh, Hikari Demarian. That's an old name, Demarian.
And I'll tell you about it if you bring me more ale. Smack.
I'm afraid we don't have any ale for guests. Alcohol is at a premium nowadays here, where I am.
'Cause you're like living in a hole or something.
And I
Guarded by a
require
dragon.
yes, and I require it a bit for other things. Sorry.
Well, I guess
Andy-
Hikari requires it too.
I see.
Yeah,
Andy,
I
I'm
was gonna
doing-
say.
I'd like to do an insight check on Israk and whether he like has any kind of noticeable reaction to hearing our names. And I'm kind of doing it. I'll say like, my name's Burbage Kemp, and that big one. And I'll nod toward Stormbringer, like nod toward Israk, like you can introduce yourself.
I'm Snowbringer Mountain.
All right, okay, we all used our real names. Okay, that's what we're doing.
Exactly, that's what I did. I used my real name.
Stormbringer.
Oh right, Snowbringer.
Snowbringer Mountain. Yes. And Burbage, give me a insight check with disadvantage as you're looking at a puppet with. That seems about right. Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Sorry, that would be a 7.
But still.
No, because one of them re-rolled because it was a 1, right?
Yeah.
Also, he
Yeah.
has reliable talent on insight. He can't roll
Yeah.
lower than, I think.
That's true. Yeah,
it's a minimum of 15. Yeah.
Yeah, so he rolled a 15, basically.
Yeah, Burbage, you're having a really hard time reading a puppet. But he did seem to catch a little bit with Hikari. He tried to kind of nod the puppet, it seemed, at each of you, and then seemed to ponder on Hikari's name a little bit more, but that's about it. You don't
all right.
You don't get a sense that he is hiding anything other than what he's presented, I guess.
So we came all this way, and you don't have any idea who we are.
Well, to be honest, I'm afraid I do know who you are. Or at least a Goliath, a halfling, and a tiefling.
Oh God! This is about
Well,
the
this was worth
prophecy.
it, guys.
It's about the prophecy, right? Isn't it? You're going on about the prophecy, Vimeris' prophecy. Is that it? Huh? How about that name, Vimeris? Does Vimeris mean anything to you? Vimeris, okay, Torin, Ponway, Yizrak, Lias Neverwoe, Elrura. Do any of these names mean anything to you?
I guess we're telling him things then?
Yes, given Snowbringer, we're telling him everything.
Oh.
Because we are a tiefling, a halfling, and a Goliath. This whole thing appears to be about us. And it's infuriating because I never wanted anything to be about me. Until 20 years ago, then everything started to be about me.
You want everything to be about you, Burbage.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It was never like this before. Now everything has to be about me because I'm a fucking turd.
Did you make a wish?
What?
To make everything about you. Maybe that's why everything is about you now.
No, I did make a wish. Yizrak? Any reaction you'd like to share with us?
You go a little fast, young one. I know many of those names, yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll just go a bit slower. All right?
Please.
We, 3 of us, and our friend Vimeris, we were hired by a high priest of the Temple of Rin, which I believe you used to be when you were alive, or at least
corporeal.
I guess you're still alive. Corporeal, that's right. Thank you, Charity. When you were corporeal.
It was many years ago, yes.
Yeah. Well, we were hired by Ponway to retrieve a plant from the strange island that had appeared off the coast of our city, Federo, all right? And after returning to Federo with the plant, we found ourselves in danger, all right? Our homes were ransacked. We got these threatening, mysterious notes that said, stay away from Ponway. Except for me, I got a note from this guy, Foley, who we have tied up right here. Is Foley awake?
No.
He's sleeping right now, so don't wake him up. He's very tired. He needs to sleep.
What was the plant's name you were sent to get?
Do plants have names?
Yes, they have names.
And at this, Arbin steps up and says, "It was they were sent to get a blue Sisyphus."
Oh, we didn't know that, did we, Charity? Did we know it was called a blue Sisyphus? We might have.
It's a proper name for it. You didn't need to know.
Wait, Arbin, are you connected to Ponway?
Yeah, Arbin, why do you know that?
Yeah, Arbin.
Well, please continue with their story. You don't need. I'll tell you my side later.
It's exactly this shit that I've had it with. All these people that we run into being withholding of information that could very well help to save the world. All right? Why can't we all just work together?
I just start running to Arbin and tackle him on the ground.
Okay. Give me a strength roll, or give me an athletics check.
Or can I entangle him?
Not with your shield.
You're tackling Arbin.
I'm sick of all this. Okay. Wait, what am I doing? Strength?
Athletics check. A 24. Yeah.
Woo!
You tackle him completely to the ground. You're basically on top of him, having him pinned.
That's right.
At this, one of the very large puppets also kind of moves over to you. Its hand flips backward. A small blade shoots out of where its wrist would be, and
I go, "Come at me, puppet!"
It holds it kind of near you, and it looks toward the hooded puppet.
Kindly don't come at her, puppet.
No need for violence of any kind here, please. I wouldn't mind trying out some of the new modifications on my puppets, but later, maybe. Do you want to do anything now that you've tackled him?
Yeah, I wonder if you like, what the fuck?
Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean, what the fuck?
Like, you know things and you're not telling us. You won't sleep with any of us. You obviously have terrible taste.
Hey, Hikari, no means no, and he's made his no pretty clear.
It's right. I was fine, I'll tell you.
But I want to know why no.
Look, Ponway, the reason I know about your mission is because I'm involved with Ponway. He asked me to go first, and I said I wouldn't. I had other dealings in town.
Like what? Was it a girl?
It's not a girl, no.
Was it a boy?
No, it's not a boy. It's a secret organization that I'm trying to run.
Oh, wow. That's pretty romantic.
What is the secret organization?
What secret organization?
I'm part of the Pale Spiders. Okay.
And you run it?
Well, I'm high up in it.
I don't know the Pale Spiders.
I run some of the day-to-day operations, sure.
All right, okay. That is, you know what? All right.
You know,
Burber's going to stand up and he's going to Burber's going to stand up and kind of point. And he's going to be like, yeah, that is exactly the kind of information that could be really useful to us going forward, all right? Israk Devere's brain puppet, okay? That is a great model of what we expect from you in this interaction, all right?
I say we keep him tied up and I keep watch on him.
Yeah, Arbin, you already consented to light bondage. Are you still down for that? Do you just want to build a light bondage?
No, I don't. I would rather not be tied up.
He's a prisoner.
It's all the same to all of you.
I mean, you said you were okay with it earlier, and it's not really all the same to us, because I just think we should tie everyone up, actually. Tie all the puppets up and you. I don't trust any of you fuckers. Who wants a bondage party?
Guys.
All right, okay, guys. Everybody.
What?
As appealing as a bondage party is to me right now, I don't think it's going to easily facilitate what we're trying to accomplish right now, which is an effective and concise review of our adventures thus far.
Urban, you remember that I'm half sex demon, right?
Is that really a type of demon,
I knew that.
Are you sex?
Yeah, I'm half sex demon.
Oh, that explains so much.
Yep.
All
right. Well, that's great.
We're all learning new things through sharing and honesty. And that's wonderful. But perhaps we can return to the many travails that we suffered in Federo, outside of, really fucking everywhere since Ponway contacted us.
Yeah, that's a good word for them. Travails. You know what? Travails. I've had lots of travails, and these are some of them. All right. So, speaking of Foley, is he still asleep, Andy?
Yeah, he's unconscious, just laying on the ground back there.
Foley wrote me a note because he had offered me money for information about who attended this initial meeting with Ponway. And in that note, Foley used the phrase, "Perhaps it's nothing." Now, perhaps that means nothing to most people.
Oh,
but I'll tell you, over the course of our travails, that phrase has popped up over and over and over again. It's really infuriating. You know where else it popped up? We received another letter, separate from the Foley letter, in Federo, from this person, or this group of people, because the letter was written in different hands, from somebody called the Stranger. And they also used that phrase, "perhaps it's nothing." All right? They also gave us a coin, and I had a coin. I'm getting way in the weeds here.
Charity's gonna sort of pat you. It appears that there are a great number of people concerned with these events. In summary, Ponway told us that he needed us to find these plants blue Sisyphuses? Oh god, we're literally in the weeds now. That in order to help with the fire blight, which is a series of cities burning and being exposed. People thought it was an illness. It turns out that it's fire elementals. That's a lot of fun.
Travails. Fire blight, travails. All right? We agreed to go find the blue Sisyphus plant in Cliff Mill on behalf of Ponway. All right? And on the way, we discovered just what Charity just said, that the fire blight isn't a blight at all, right? It's actually fire elementals that have been attacking towns and cities. And you know what? We interrogated one fire elemental that we caught because I poured druidic whiskey on it and turned it into a tree. And when we asked it who sent it here, who was its master, it said Yizak, who happens to be another high priest of the Temple of Rin. All right? I've been keeping track of this stuff, okay? Been keeping track of it real good.
Oh. Also, somewhere in the middle of that, my patron, a celestial being known as Behelit, ordered me to kill him, and when I refused, took away my powers. And subsequent later discovery suggests that she is, in fact, behind the fire blight and maybe attempting to come into this world. A thing I believe you had a reaction to when I mentioned it a few minutes ago. He is very excited. Do you have a soothing tart?
Yeah, travails, all right?
I'm feeling the citrus is too stimulating right now. Do you have something in berry?
What?
I don't want berries, okay? A god ordered my friend to kill me, okay?
I didn't.
He didn't kill me, that's great. I'm happy for that most days. But yeah, apparently Behelit is all wrapped up in this fire blight business, all right? That is also important to know, okay? And what about the Vimeris? Where's the Vimeris of it all? The Vimeris. Remember Vimeris? He was a friend. He's part of the family. Right,
Sorry,
he was invested.
Stop.
Who was that?
You say...
Who just said that? Is that you, Izrak?
Yes, you said that he was a part of your family. What does that mean?
Well, like, he still is, right? It's just also,
Also dead.
No, you're mistaken, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Vimeris is not dead. He can't be dead.
Please explain to me why that's significant and also how he's not dead. Because, I mean, I've seen his body frozen in ice, right? We're going to bring him back. He was wearing this necklace, and we just got to figure out how to melt the ice with the hellfire.
He was
wearing a necklace.
When we came to Cliff Mill, he had always been possessed by a vision and prophecy from his... Can you see air quotes? His father.
I can sense them.
Okay. Corin of the prophecy. He went into the well where the second of the flowers was kept, but the guardians of the first flower, turtle dragons, had followed us. I would like to think it was to save us, but I do not know. Something in the prophecy had taken hold of him, I feel. To complete the prophecy, to save us both, I do not know. To deny the prophecy, I am unsure. He unlocked the power within it, and in the process produced a massive column of ice that will not melt.
The visage of the pale spider hangs above this column.
It does.
Yeah, and Arbin, what do you know about that? Is that you, the pale spiders?
No, I am not. No, I'm not the pale spider.
I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to Arbin. Shut up, puppet.
Oh, she's sitting on my chest. I
assure you she can do worse.
Just a little heavy with all the armor on, girly.
Hey, that's
just the armor on.
Charity is going to sort of like crouch down next to Arbin. Do you want this to get worse? Because this is how it gets worse.
I'd much rather it get better if it's all the same to you.
Yeah.
You keep saying if it's all the same. I'm not involved. I'm giving you options for your decisions.
How do I make her stop sitting on me?
I think we all know that.
Ease up on him so he can answer the question. And if he doesn't ease up, you can sit on him harder. Or if he doesn't answer, you can sit on him harder.
Okay.
Getting all mixed up here.
Okay.
Does Hikari get off him a little bit?
Tiny bit, but
Okay.
just enough so he can breathe.
Like transfers more weight to her knee or something so that it's not on him.
Okay, now what was the question there, little one?
The flag with the pale green spider on it that's currently wrapped around the ice spire produced by our friend Vimeris, and that he saw in a vision of the end of the world with us frozen underneath the ice. That pale green spider flag, does it have to do with you, the pale spiders?
The pale spiders were named after the vision, not the other way around.
Oh, see, now that is interesting. All right. Good to know, I guess. Charity, what's a good follow-up question to that?
I have a good question. I have one.
Stormbringer.
So, if they were named after the vision, what was the purpose of them then?
Early on, the pale spiders were meant to just keep the peace. As a symbol, some of us wanted the idea of the vision to carry on, of Amaris's vision, or Corin's vision, really.
Can you explain that more in depth? Because that sounds like you wanted a bunch of people to die, and maybe there's a disconnect here.
It's not that we want people to die, it's just that sometimes you need things to progress in order to confront something that's gonna be real bad.
Okay, explain that. Explain that like I'm not understanding, because I'm not understanding.
Explain it like she's a very large, heavily armed woman who isn't understanding and might get angry about it.
If someone told you a thief is going to come in the middle of the night one night and take your money, and take your gold, and take your daughter, wouldn't you want to know when that thief is going to come?
Yeah, of course. And then I kill them. So somebody was going to steal your daughter?
Well, it's a metaphor for this. If you can bring it about, if you can make it happen, you know what's going to happen. You know when.
If you can enact the prophecy, you choose the time. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So you guys were going to try to fulfill the prophecy because you thought that it was inevitable, and this way you could control when it happened.
I mean, some of us thought that. Yeah, sure. Some of us wanted to take the idea that maybe Rin's fates were getting a little too powerful, and we needed to stop the spread of some of those ideas.
Okay, see, no, Arben, I don't like this whole some of us this and some of us that thing. There are already way too many parties involved in this story. What are you talking about? Some of the pale spiders? Or wait, did all of the pale spiders have the same objective but for different reasons?
That's the thing. We all have the same leadership. We all answer to the same people. It's just some of us do it under different guises.
So some wanted to fulfill the prophecy and control when it happened, and others, could you repeat that part?
The fates of Rin themselves are getting too powerful sometimes. With Rin being diminished, there's a vacuum of power in that system.
Well, what do you mean that Rin is diminished? Is that because Rin came into this world? Did that diminish her?
Well, it's actually partly what I'm here to ask him. And he points to the puppet.
Okay.
One question before we pivot back to that, Arben.
Aye?
The pale spiders were named for the vision, not the other way around. Who
That's
named
true.
them that? Who gave you your name?
Well, that would be Ponway. In his early days.
Right.
And how did he know the vision?
That's also why I'm going to ask him. Ponway's not telling me something. I think Inzrak
There's a huge shock.
knows something.
That Ponway would withhold information from somebody? No. All right. Okay. That's interesting. All right. The pale spiders wanted to fulfill the vision. All right. Here's a question, and Arbin and Israk, it's for both of you. Where does the Riddle Machina fit into this? Because Vimeris apparently was a clone of his father, Corin, who apparently wasn't his father. They're basically the same person. Vimeris was actually a clone created so that they could keep the prophecy alive. And the Riddle Machina wanted to kill the original Corin and Aurora. All right? I remember we read this. We read this, right, in the journals or the bounty or something. If Corin lives, it will halt all progress made with the fate of Rin. All right? So we've got the Riddle Machina, who apparently is working for Behelit for reasons that we can get into that, of course, sort of, we haven't gotten to that part of our travails yet. The Riddle Machina working for Behelit. So is Shenik, another name, I'll just put a pin in that, flag that, who is in correspondence with Yizak, right? It's them versus the... But yeah, I would like to put a pin in Shenik. We'd like to put 1,000 pins in Shenik. Versus the Pale Spiders, right? Riddle Machina versus the Pale Spiders. Have I got that right?
That's at least how I see some of that, sure.
Okay. Well, that is at least somewhat affirming.
I think that...
Thank you.
I don't think that satisfied him, Andy.
No, you know, it's... So, yeah, we'll get into it. All right. So the Riddle Machina had a bounty out on Corin and Aurora. We have some other information about the Riddle Machina and bounties that I'm going to withhold from you, Israk Devere.
Yeah, huh?
Because maybe it will give us leverage. We'll come back to that. But also, yeah, we kept on running into these flowers called Doom Lilies. Then an agent of Behelit, who was a member of the Riddle Machina, mesmerized us and made us say, perhaps it's nothing, over and over. Perhaps it's nothing, perhaps it's nothing, perhaps it's nothing. Apparently it's something, apparently it's everything. Snowbringer
Mountain.
Snowbringer Mountain killed her. Very well done. But then this big white cat, who's actually apparently a demon named Shenik, killed Charity on behalf of Yizak, we think, who is working for Behelit. And finally, we just decided to come to you for answers, all right? And instead of you, what did we find? What a dragon! The ancient white dragon Peletoth. And the only reason it didn't kill us is because I sacrificed a family artifact I inherited and probably needed to survive future fights in this fucking campaign.
You had Bright Fang on you, didn't you?
Do you want that tart now?
I wondered why that dragon let you through. Oh, damn Peloton. He's a sucker for halflings, I suppose. Anyway.
Burbage has just collapsed on it. What are we sitting on cushions or something? Is that what you said?
Yeah, like leather beanbag chairs.
Burbage collapses on his beanbag chair and then takes another beanbag chair and just puts it over top of him. He's hiding between two beanbag chairs.
That's adorable. Charity's gonna sort of
it's a Burbage sandwich.
Charity's gonna sort of
beanbag. Burr beanbag. There you go.
Charity's gonna sort of pat the top beanbag. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. So yes, you see, we have a great many questions. I see. There are many forces, many groups in this conflict, in this whatever it is, but we don't yet fully understand the sides. Does that make sense? Also, Charity's gonna like sort of look up. Oh, also, Arbin, gonna put a pin in later. Stranger, have questions.
So many pens.
So much.
Travails.
So many pointed questions.
Travails. Stranger travails. Stranger travails.
Shh. It's okay.
Should I shake him?
No, not right now.
Let me preface, if I might, Snow Mountain Bringer. I have deep and intimate knowledge of many things that you're asking. Some of it is very forbidden knowledge that I have taken great pains to get rid of. You see, there is a fascinating waterfall deep in the Bovalian Mountains.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
We've been to the waterfall in the Bovalian Mountains.
Travails.
I think I should shake him.
Charity's going to look at the puppet. You actually have a lot in common with Burbage.
Listen, it is. There are many things that I still hold to, and there are a few that I have let slip over the falls. I promise you, I will do my best to answer everything I can, and if I can't, I believe that I could point you in the right direction. Is this fair enough going forward?
Yeah, sounds valid. Does somebody want to do an insight check on that? Because Stormbreaker probably would think too.
I was planning to once my game let me roll again. There we go, 18.
With disadvantage, as it is a puppet. 13. 13, quick.
Hold. 14.
Oh, and guidance. 14.
Remember, everyone, guidance. A fun cantrip that lets you make you or people you care about better at things. Use it early. Use it often.
Yeah, with the 14, you, as far as you can tell, as you're still getting a bit of tone of voice through the puppet, though no facial expressions or mannerisms really, you can still barely get a sense that, yeah, this feels accurate, that he's really wanting to help here.
Yeah, I would sort of also nod because I mainly just wanted to get the feel. I was going to agree to the deal either way.
Yeah.
Like, I think that seems fair enough. I know something about not having memories that you should. Also a question for later.
Right. However, of the riddle Machina, I have done a great deal of study. How much would you like to know?
Everything, because one of the loves of my life, there's been a couple, was maybe one of them. I want to know everything.
I see.
It seems to refer to both a type of being and a group. Is that correct?
Yes. There was a long time ago a certain group of individuals who traversed into this world who were not supposed to be here. Or rather, that version of them was not supposed to be here. They didn't fit. They didn't actually even really exist here. And as a side effect of that, people couldn't remember them. People couldn't see them if they looked away. It was debilitating for these people. And over time, even passing that gene or that condition along to their children, that small little group grew into a slightly larger group. And now, you wouldn't even know if they were in this very room. You wouldn't know
I mean, I would.
You had met 20 of them in your life. My research doesn't say that there are very large numbers of these individuals, but they are more spread out than I had originally intended or thought. They become some of the greatest purveyors of hidden and secret knowledge in this world. Because you can't even ask them a question if you don't even remember that they exist. Because of that, many who are looking for such forbidden knowledge and have no other place to turn may seek these kinds of individuals out and give up a great, great price to work with them. And if they are on your side, very little is off limits in this world. And now that you are saying they are working, you believe to bring Balit into this world. That is certainly one way to get the forbidden knowledge needed to do that. I'm sorry. I assume this has made things very hard for you.
Charity's gonna flip open sort of a small sheaf of paper. By my count, it has been 36 minutes since the last time someone tried to kill us. We're doing well today. Things are hard generally.
Indeed. So sorry for that.
So, wait, if they are from a different world and this version of them wasn't supposed to be here, is there a version of them that is supposed to be here?
Yes, the originals, yes.
What about their descendants?
That is hard to say. Very hard. You wouldn't exactly be able to count both of them if you couldn't remember one of them, would you?
Okay, but I don't know what you just said. That was very confusing. Anyway, look, if I loved one of them, is there another her?
I would assume no, especially not one that you've loved and one that loved you back. That love is a very, very unique and powerful thing that such people do not often experience. I'm afraid that experience has floated down the river from you.
I don't know what that means.
It's a metaphor. It's moved on.
Oh. Okay.
But it was real.
Yeah.
Burbage is gonna sit up and take off his top beanbag and toss it over to Stormbringer.
She'll just kind of hug it.
Charity will pat her shoulder as he stands by her. Are the Riddle Machina, given that they are both a type of person and a group of people, are they always united in their goals?
For the most part, unless one perhaps grew up outside of that community. I would not know. That is something that I never came across in my studies.
That sounds like Roben.
It does sound like Rober.
Right. Okay, in which case, it's fine that she was involved with those light people in the pocket dimension.
Urban sort of coughs loudly
are you
at that.
Okay, Urban?
Oh, that's
Is
fine.
The
Yeah,
choking you?
No, just a little bit. She stabbed a little bit of her finger into my side. It just poked.
Oh.
It hurt a bit.
Remember that we knew. Fine. Yeah, there was the whole thing. Okay.
We're not idiots. We're the ones who said to you that you probably know the father of one of the Riddle Machina. All right? We know that you just reacted to what we said, not to... I mean, maybe Hikari did jab you, for all we know. But, you know.
Charity shrug. Could be both.
Yeah, exactly. But anything you'd like to say right now? Hikari, get ready to jab him if he doesn't give us some useful information in the next 10 seconds.
I'm not sure what he means by the light or the... That is something I'm not familiar with.
Again, I was talking to Arbin, not you, Israk. Shut up.
Excuse me.
I bite Israk with my non-poisonous tooth.
Ah!
You don't bite Israk, you bite Arbin. All right, this is confusing. Israk, you know what would be helpful, Israk, is if you and your dumb brain came back and just was present. All right,
I did it to Arbin, I meant.
The puppets are confusing things. Hikari just almost accidentally bit your puppet.
Okay, you're with a...
Technically, he's prone.
Yeah, you have advantage, technically.
I hesitate to say, waiting for the crit.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't want to poison him.
That's fine. Yeah, we'll just do the regular bite damage.
Oh.
I rolled it. It's fine.
Okay.
Oh, jeez. 8.
8?
Yeah.
That'll teach him not to sleep with me.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Charity's gonna, rub his forehead. Oh my god, we need to go to, a seminar. We need workplace training.
Again, I'm not his employer.
But you thought that let you off the hook for all of it! Which was the issue. Also, let's face it, this is as close as most of us come to employment at this point.
So we're co-workers? We're just in different departments. Ben, are we working for the same team?
I'd like to think so, sure. And now my shoulder's bleeding.
Yeah,
it sure is.
Smile at him again and lick my teeth.
His blood tastes funny.
Mm-hmm. It does?
Eh?
I notice difference between blood.
Yeah, you notice a difference.
Andy, is this a real thing, or are you... Andy, I swear to God.
It is. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to derail anything.
Hold on.
You guys keep going in different directions.
Hold on.
We're not making this easy on you. I understand.
We're good at derailing ourselves.
While Darcy looks up spells.
I'm trying to keep us on a main thread.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's a valiant effort.
Which one would it be that one?
You don't have that prepared.
That one.
You don't have that prepared. Only the red ones.
Well, let's say I prepared it that way.
You can do it tomorrow. How about that? So while Hikari's thinking of that.
Oh, I can do this one.
Oh God. Yeah, no, do your thing.
Did she just point at Fireball?
Oh. So these aren't even spells that could help identify a blood smell. She's just finding any spell that she can cast.
What can I do to destroy Arbin?
Okay, ready?
Go ahead.
Oh my God.
Cast the spell. All right.
I cast it. Didn't do anything.
No, you did. Dispel evil and good.
It was the only one I had. He could have killed us.
Because his blood tasted weird?
Yeah.
So
we can tell what he did.
Yeah, nothing around you actually seems to ping off of this. You don't seem to actually have activated anything, which means that no one around you besides you and Charity really have any fey, elemental, celestial, fiend stuff going on.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Also, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna at the and undead roll eye towards brain jar.
Yeah.
Disquieting.
Not undead. Yep.
So
melee spell.
The light people in the pocket dimension are maybe now I don't know what Burbage would actually deduce from the materials versus what Lena deduced in the comments on our Google Doc where we were trying to put all this together. Yeah,
well,
go.
he wasn't undead, fae, celestial, elemental, fiend.
Yeah,
so we can
no
know
one
that.
around you is those.
No
things.
one around us says that.
Charity will slow like, is there a reason we felt a need to confirm that?
I do keep saying that for a reason.
Oh, Charity, you're more paranoid than any of us. Why are you asking that?
I'm just saying that feels like a real specific... Was there something off when you bit him? Does he taste funny?
Wow,
yeah,
that's
does.
a bit on the nose, isn't it, Galway? That's Burbage talking to Galway.
Maybe because I'm drowning against Burbage's talking generally.
I didn't like it. It didn't taste good.
We will roll back to the question of if the blood normally tastes good, which is mildly concerning. Okay, we're just right at the okay, putting a pin in that one too. So the Riddle Machina are information brokers, and you would suspect that the forces aligned with Behelit are working with them, have sought them out in order to get the knowledge to bring her into this world.
I believe such things, yes. We took great pains to make sure that no one else could do what we did.
Okay,
What did
so
you do?
we and what do?
Well, Corin, Aurora, myself, Maywin, and Podway brought Rin.
Maidwin or Maywin?
Maywin brought Rin into this world.
Right? Is that a gasp? Right?
And then what? And
Well,
why? Why don't you just tell me a story like this is a bedtime story? Tell me what all of that shit.
Okay. We knew Rid, was making inroads to break into this plane of existence.
Did you say Rin or Rid?
Rin.
Alright, cool. Now keep going with the bedtime story. Burbage is going to gather some more of those like pillows and cushions and kind of like toss them around and get comfy for a sleepover.
Some among us believe she was coming here for good, to stop a growing darkness. For Rin herself is benevolent. But it became quite clear to us that a being that powerful has no real conception of good or evil, at least not as mortals see it. There is only one way to stop such a force. Allow it in on your terms. In the birthing process, there is a moment of weakness for that eternal thing in its new avatar form. We performed the ceremony, summoned her, brought her here to defeat her and send her straight back, weakened. And at this, Devere grows quiet. And then Corin, Aurora, and I waited as our friend, as my Maywin, became the vessel. And at that moment, Corin and Aurora broke through to the spirit still of Maywin, and they held her vulnerable for a single moment, for a single strike. And I couldn't do it. In that moment, I'd rather have seen the whole world burn around me than to kill her. I was naive. I was immature. I was afraid. From my moment of hesitation, Rin's power overwhelmed Maywin's mind. Aurora and Corin could no longer defend against her growing power, and we were forced to retreat, leaving a god to walk free among the inhabitants of this world. I am very sorry for that. Luckily, amazingly, to our surprise, after a few months of holding our breath, waiting for the end of everything, Rin simply walked back to us. See, that which we had all feared just gave up to us the power to rule everything here. Maybe she had already accomplished what she set out to do. Maybe destruction and power were never her real motivation. Either way, she offered herself to us to be consumed by black flames and to return to her realm, lesser and weakened. Before we consumed her avatar flesh, which I could still not bring myself to do, she spoke briefly to each of us, and I'll never forget her words, so full of sadness. The weight of our reality seemed to press upon her. She kissed Corin's forehead lightly, and then she disappeared into black flames and was gone. The single most powerful creature on the globe just willingly left it. She went unceremoniously in some random tent in the wilds of Bovalia, as did my Maywin. And Rin had never quite recovered. Her fates, gods and goddesses that have served and looked after her, then worked in her stead to protect her and her followers, for the most part. Until one of them, too, was wooed away by Baelit, away from her light. And at this he grows quiet and still, his puppet fingers touching each other in almost a triangle.
When was this?
Long ago. We were all young. Ponway was barely a child almost.
You're a brain in a jar. It's a little difficult to get an age based on that.
This is true. Hundreds of years ago. Certainly before I came here.
Was it before Pelatoth lost his tooth? Is that something Rin did while she was walking this world?
It is one of the stories I had heard, yes, while she was here.
You said you'll never forget her words, so full of sadness.
Yes.
What did she say? Or is it, personal? But even if it's personal, we'd love to hear it.
She said not all swords are meant to kill. Not all fire is meant to destroy. Not all love is weakness, and not all sacrifice penance.
Well, shit. That is 4 sentences, each of which seem to maybe connect with... perhaps it's nothing. All right.
Don't say that word. Those phrase ever. Burbage. Don't say that thing.
What was the fourth one? Not all swords are meant to kill, not all flames meant to destroy, not all love is weakness.
and not all sacrifice penance.
Charity's gonna stop. Hundreds of years ago, sadness. Oh, sorry, I didn't see that it had been posted there. You used the hellfire.
Yes, that's what we ended up calling it. Yes.
The sense that I've gotten is that the puppet can see, right? And it communicates visually to him.
Sort of? He seems to be reacting visually to you, like the air quotes thing.
Well, yeah, in the sense of... sorry, I didn't mean he can necessarily see through the puppet, but I sense that he has vision.
Yes.
Charity is going to pull down his, like, the collar of his robes, revealing the sort of cracked patterns of scars. And did you all pay this price, too?
My own body had many such scars, yes. How in the world do you have such markings?
Because I have wielded the hellfire. I was made to. Made to by my father. To kill, to become a weapon. To become a flame that would burn away his enemies. And I became Behelit's flame too. Her purifying flame. But no more.
Of course. Of course. Of course she wanted you. She needed you. Oh. Oh, this is bad. This is very, very bad.
Elaborate?
Tell us another story about why this is bad and what the fuck Behelit is doing.
The process was written down in a book for us, in a book called The Process of Atarana. But it seemed to suggest that the god simply took over a body. But I remember my Maywin being very particularly good at creating flowers. And Rin, when she walked away from us that day, created the most beautiful lilies in her footsteps.
Doomish?
Doom lilies?
No, not doom lilies. No, these were white and gold. Beautiful things. But that would mean that something then of Rin absorbed the power of Maywin.
I do not... So that the possessing spirit and its host are in a relationship. They acquire something of their host. So it matters. You wouldn't pick a random passerby unless you wanted to be less than you might be, and we're all pretty clear that the gods don't tend to be into being less than they can be.
I'm very, very sorry.
Charity's gonna look...
But it seems Behelit has chosen her vessel.
Charity's gonna pause. But the hellfire is not my fire. Though I may have wielded it in the past. Also, correct me if I go off kilter here, Andy, because this is still a hazy area for Caloran's memories.
Yeah.
There was a process, tools were required, vials. Something had to be done to me each time I used it.
Yes. And very, very few beings could ever wield it.
My fire is not the black flame. I am the flame. I am the light and the flame. And at this, my halos will, even though I'm not angry, roar into existence. I am the silver flame that guards my family. What am I?
My boy, I'm sorry, I do not know what you are. But if your silver can act as a light in balancing the darkness of the flames of hellfire, you are uniquely situated for a god to be able to wield the only thing that could destroy them. And that is very bad.
So, how did you die? Or not die? Can you explain that whole thing? With your death. You know what I mean? Is anyone else still curious about that? Purple just looking around.
A little bit.
You know, I mean, yeah. A lot of fire in the story. A lot of fire. There's hellfire. There's the fire that destroyed the father of my lover, Theodric, when I took the ring off his finger. There's the fire that apparently some assassin used to kill you, Israk, according to a brief history of Federo. So just trying to get to the bottom of all that. You know what I mean?
A fire that burned you and burned hot enough to leave no body, yet marred nothing in the room.
Yeah, that sounded very familiar to me when I read it, because it just so happened to sound very similar to something that happened at sort of a pivotal moment in my life. So just wondering...
Sort of a been there, done that, got the emotional anguish thing.
Right. Well, that was more of a trick that me and a friend came up with, so I could disappear from public life.
What friend?
I actually got the idea from Rin, as not all fire is meant to destroy. This one gave me a new way to recede from public eyes.
And the friend?
I believe you know him as Eldon Dale.
Oh, fuck me running.
Wait.
That's a gasp. That's a gasp over there. Can we all sort of gasp together for that? All right. 1, 2. No, on the count of 3. Arvin, are you in? 1, 2, 3.
But perhaps return to my more genuine reaction of "fuck me running."
Yeah, that one was good too. All right, on the count of 3, let's all say "fuck me running."
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Fuck me running. You knew Eldon Dale. You were friends with him.
Toward the later part of my life, yes.
Well, that's wild.
Hey, you know what else is wild? Is that he died the same way you supposedly died, right? That's kind of sketchy as fuck.
He did the same thing?
Do you think he might still be alive?
Oh, that little shit.
Where do you think he might be if he was still alive?
Well, now everyone's going to question me if they know he's still around.
Well, I don't think people know he's still around. I suspected it.
There was an entire murder trial about it, etc.
Are you sure he's not just dead?
Well, no, we're not sure, but...
Well, I had my suspicions because when it became clear that it wasn't my fault that I murdered Eldon, it became clear to me that the ghost of Eldon Dale, quote-unquote, who's been following me around for 20 years, probably wasn't actually the ghost of Eldon Dale, because the real Eldon Dale would know that it wasn't my fault, that he died. So if he did that same trick as you, and is still alive, then some other force, probably fucking Behelit, had planted some kind of spirit or something to pretend to be the ghost of Eldon Dale just to fuck with me for the last 20 years. Does that sound right, Andy?
Andy's not going to answer that.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck you. I wanted to trick you.
Charity's
Thank
gonna...
you, Monty. Monty in Twitch chat said that they gasped too.
Thanks,
Thank
Monty.
you, Monty.
So Charity's going to stop. You came up with this trick. What way, if any, would there be to tell if that was the same thing that had been done, or if it was an actual fire that, burned someone to death? Though, again, the fact that it didn't burn the bed is very suspicious, and this is coming from a person who has burned a lot of people to death.
Sure, if the fire does not spread, it is merely very quickly consumed. The fire, along with the body, is the source of which, the heat of which, is teleported away very, very quickly. It's rather a simple trick, but it leaves very little trace involved, as the sigil itself is burned up in the flames.
So, if Eldon Dale pulled the same trick, where would he be now? Why would he do that?
If I remember correctly, Dale's, and if I am right, Kemp's, have a very wandering spirit. It would not surprise me that Eldon ended up living out the rest of his days in a mountain cave somewhere, hunting orcs or goblins.
Hey Arbin, what might you know about this?
Nothing. I don't quite know anything about that.
Huh.
One way it seemed to suggest that Israk might still be alive, and that's why I thought that whole fiery bed thing might be a trick.
Ooh, what do you know about, someone called the Stranger?
I know that there's a stranger, that he advises on matters of the Pale Spider.
He advises?
On matters of the Pale Spider?
Yes.
So the Stranger is part of the Pale Spiders. Probably the Stranger, as being part of the Merchants Guild, as indicated in his original letter to us, that's probably part of why the Pale Spiders have such reach and power in terms of communicating and transporting materials. Right, guys? That makes sense. I get it now. That clicks for me. Does it click for you, listeners out there? I don't even know.
I was more questioning who the he referred to. Was it the stranger providing advice, or someone advising the stranger? The referent was unclear.
Well, the stranger, I believe, has his hands in the Pale Spiders, lets us know some information, helps us out from time to time.
Who is the Stranger, Arbin?
Oh, that I don't know.
I don't
Probably a
believe
friend
you.
of Conway's, I would imagine.
You're just guessing.
I am just guessing, yes.
That's not helpful.
You know
I'm
what?
sorry. I don't mean to not be helpful. I've been on a fucking iceberg for a week. I've been sexually harassed. Someone's been sitting on my chest, and now you're giving me the third degree. When I came here to ask him some questions.
Well, you're getting a whole lot of exposition along with the rest of us, so you know what? You're getting what you came for.
True.
Hey,
I'm
look,
not complaining.
I do want to just go on the record and say that I deeply apologize for sexually harassing you. Not even going to say that, if you felt a particular way about my actions, then I'm sorry you felt that way. I'm saying I'm sorry that I engaged in behavior that harmed and hurt you. I wasn't thinking clearly. I made a mistake, and I'm going to engage in conscientious reflection about how my actions and my thoughtless behavior towards other human beings, sentient beings, I mean, is problematic and flawed and bad. So
Fair enough. And maybe we can work out this tension later.
wait, what tension?
Charity's gonna raise his hand. Pin in that. Speaking of sexual harassment, has anyone seen Hikari?
Isn't she just still sitting on his chest?
Hikari's wandered down to the
I'm there in the
lower
kitchen
level.
talking to the puppet.
That's perfect.
The puppet is not activated. You were just talking to an empty husk of a machine asking for ale, I assume.
I think I get, as Charity like pauses everyone and looks around, hears Hikari's voice, which I imagine is more ale slap. Okay, that seems fine.
Yep.
That seems fine. So I was given to Behelit. I was given to Behelit, and I don't know why. She took my memories from me. I think my father is connected to this somehow.
Yeah. I met his father. I met your father, Charity. Remember that? When I was pulled into Behelit's realm. And he said, say hi to my son for me. But I think that happened off stream, or maybe it happened in Roll20 chat. Just gonna flag that. But it did happen. It's canon. Charity's father. I swear to God, I interjected because I thought there was something useful to say. There might not be.
Why?
Yeah, Charity's father working with Behelit.
Why are so many of Behelit's followers demons?
Also, like, what is Behelit doing? You seem to know what's going on with this whole thing, and you said it was just one fate?
Behelit isn't a fate of Rin, is she? Behelit is another god like Rin? It's a three-pronged question.
She is not a fate anymore.
So she was a fate
long ago,
and
yes.
Then
there were.
Is she the one who
originally four servants of Behelit?
Okay, all right.
Or 4 servants of Rin: Behelit, Borir, Shadir, and Proris.
What was that second one?
Because I wrote it down as Boromir.
Borir.
Borir.
Yes, Borir.
Then Shadir and Proris?
Proris, yes. You may also know it as the god Eris. Is more commonly known.
Proris is more commonly known as the god Eris?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, side note, is she on the Earth right now? The Eris?
I don't believe so. I think you'd know if a god was walking around.
I mean, they're sneaky motherfuckers.
Well, we've been seeing a lot of these things called doom lilies, and according to something we read, Proris is the fate who produces those. Does that sound right?
Yes.
I mean,
they've been tied mostly to the god of chaos. So.
I could talk to her for you as she's my god and everything.
Oh, that's where okay, all right, yep, thank you. That's clarifying. Now, yep, that's a connection that I hadn't quite made, but now it's clicked for me.
Yeah, as you say god of chaos, Charity's gonna go, oh, fuck. Ah!
Out of the kitchen. Okay, what do you need me to do?
Could you ask your god? Could you ask your god to explain everything to us?
Could you request an exposition dump?
To your question, Snowstorm
Mountain.
Bringer, Mountain.
Snowbringer Mountain.
Yes, Snowbringer Mountain. It appears the god Behelit is attempting to use whatever influence they have to come into this world for some reason. And I think they've chosen your friend Charity as their vessel. And that cannot be allowed. I hope that is very, very clear.
That's
You're saying that
no, they can't have Charity. Charity's ours. Fuck Beth.
You're saying that all of the fates have chosen Charity? Are they all unified in this attempt to re-enter the world?
No, Behelit has chosen Charity. The fates are split, in that Borir has been co-opted into Behelit's service. But I believe Proris and Shadir are mightily against Behelit. If you know of them or serve them, as your friend seems to do, you are on the side of order and justice, even in such chaos. For gods need to remain where gods live. They will simply destroy this realm.
I said let's fireball the place.
The place we're currently in?
Yeah.
Okay, well that doesn't seem productive, Akari, now does it?
I'm assuming she felt the need to react to being referred to as an agent of order. Shake it up a little bit.
Ride them out, and then fireball.
Please don't.
I'm gonna go with also let's not.
Fun.
There are also very flammable things around here. Yes.
So, there are two fates, each on a side.
Yes.
Borir serving Behelit, Shadir and Proris continuing to serve Rin and try to hold Behelit back.
Yes.
Behelit
It would appear that way.
Behelit has chosen me as a vessel, which explains why... she's never going to give Shannik what he wants. That made me happy for a second.
Oh yeah, because in his letter, he asked Yizak if Behelit would reconsider her vessel. He wants to be a vessel.
And he
that's
wanted
not
my
gonna
name.
Happen. He's just... Yeah, it's not going to happen. He's just some dumb cat demon. What a goofball. I do still want to kill him.
Oh yes, very much.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Slowly.
Kill him.
Painfully.
Maybe rapidly?
Maybe a mixture of both.
That sounds about right.
Right, let's see if there are any other questions that we have for you before we go on a little break.
So why are demons helping Bahamut? If she's supposed to be a goddess, right? A nice lady. Obviously she's not very nice. But
gods do not understand good and evil as we do.
Mm-mm.
No, they are simply about power. And Behelit's lust for power is entirely different than Rin's.
So gods equal late-stage capitalism?
Certainly.
What did you say, Galway?
So gods equal late-stage capitalism?
Nice.
Yes, but whatever... And from your perspective, from having summoned her and then losing her and then having her find you, it seemed like Rin accomplished whatever it was that she sought to do?
Yes. It appears that I've been mistaken most of my life.
Join the club.
And I don't like that feeling.
Join the club.
Aurora, Corin, and I, and Ponway, all and Maywin all agreed Corin's vision was about him and about his time and his moment. And we were trying desperately to prevent that. After Rin left, his visions became more concrete, became more specific. We realized it was not about Rin at all. It was something else further in the future. Maybe Rin started the ball rolling, knowing what would eventually happen, but I don't know.
So, we once read 3 messages that were full Vimeris, apparently given to him in the past by Aurora. And if I recall correctly, those messages started out with specific lines for each of us. Stormbringer read one that said, "From the one who's forgotten, a memory." Charity's read, "From the one who's created a new path, a story." And mine read, "From the one whose demons creep to the surface still, a warning." What I've been curious about for a while, or for just recently, since I've been reviewing all this, are those lines descriptions of each of us? Or were they descriptions of Corin, Aurora, and yourself? And if this isn't a good question, Adam will cut this out later.
It appears there are many mirrored images between then and now. Because my counsel to you would be to do the very thing that we attempted to do. Bring Behelit here and defeat her on your terms.
Fuck you.
That didn't really answer my question.
Not fucking killing Charity, you asshole.
Then create another vessel. I don't care if it's Charity. Behelit will come into this world, and Charity will probably be that vessel either way. Unless there's another way around it. But for that you would need the very book that we used.
The
Well,
process
where do we get that book? Shit,
Avatarana. What? What did you say?
Remember, I said, oh shit, I know where we can get that book.
You do?
Have a pretty good guess based on the notes we were reading today.
Charity's gonna sort of be thinking about something for a second. She wants me.
It would appear so, yes.
You made a clone of Corin. You made Vimeris. But Vimeris became more. He was not merely a copy of Corin. Aurora's notes to us suggested that she came to believe it was the other way around. That it was she and Corin almost who existed because Vimeris was necessary. Not Vimeris was necessary to continue Corin's prophecy.
Yes, we were so foolish to think that everything was about us, when it appears everything was about you.
So, you discovered a means, though, of cloning Corin.
Aye.
I'm afraid I might know the answer to this, but would there be any significance if agents of Behelit had drained me of a significant amount of my blood?
Do you want the good news or the bad news?
The good news.
The good news is you have a path forward.
That doesn't involve killing Charity, right?
Perhaps.
It involves killing my clone, doesn't it?
The bad news is blood was certainly a part of the ritual.
Could you maybe go over the quick shopping list for that ritual?
About that.
Fucking waterfall, right?
Yeah, that would be forbidden knowledge.
Son of a bitch.
I can tell you this. We left the book with someone very dear who we knew could keep it safe.
Who?
There is a tribe of Goliaths.
Fuck me running!
Mountains.
Oh, hey, that's where I'm from.
To keep this safe.
Which
they
tribe?
They are the ones who would know the whereabouts of this tome. I am sorry I have completely left that information in the waters of those falls.
You left which tribe in the waters of the falls?
Makes sense. He didn't want someone to get him and torture him and get the location and then track people down. I think that Snowstorm Mountain?
Jesus Christ, we've been traveling together for over a year. It's Snowbringer Mountain.
My dear sister, think about our lives. If this tome, connected to the fate of the world in this entire thing, was left with a tribe in the Bovalian Mountains...
Yeah.
Which one do you think it is?
I don't know, there's a lot. Like, there's quite a few tribes in the Bovalian Mountains, and I know all of them.
There were
but I know some of them better.
Quite a few tribes, and they were all unified fairly recently under one leader.
Yeah. Yeah, they were all fairly recently unified under Dawn Protector. Thank you, voice in my head. So I guess there's just one tribe now,
and your
right?
mother, yeah.
I was gonna say it was your mother, wasn't it? Yeah, that unified them.
Right.
Charity's gonna slow blink. I think the point that I was making is we know where we have to visit next.
Yeah, and we were definitely probably gonna do that because, my sister's in danger, and I guess I care about that. Plus, maybe Dawn Protector's not mad at me anymore. That'd be nice.
Alright, and just to be
clear... But also,
let's...
she is still mad at me. I don't know. Yeah. But it's okay.
Little pop quiz for just all of us collectively, just so that we all know we're on track. What book are we traveling to the tribe of Goliaths to find? Is it A, The Brief History of Federa Volume 3, B, Doom Lilies Part 2 Electric Doomaloo, 3, The Process Avatarana, or 4, The Giver?
Those all sound like real books.
The one that doesn't sound like you just made it up.
I'm gonna go with The Brief History of Federa Volume 2.
I mean, to be
that was
not one of the options. To be fair, Doom Lilies 2 Electric Doomaloo does sound like a page turner, but I'm pretty sure we're going to look for the Process Avatarana.
Gotcha. Yeah, I knew that.
And at that, why don't we take a break?
At that, Charity will tussle Burbage's hair. course you did, buddy.
Oh, thanks for the tussle, Charity. Did you notice it's kind of dark in here? We got all these answers, but it's kind of dark. We've got all these answers in the dark.
Are you having a stroke?
Charity's going to blink and look around. I literally never notice if it's dark. It makes no difference to me.
It's an in-world joke, all right? We in addition to the phrase "perhaps it's nothing" that we heard over and over again, we also heard riddles in the riddles in the dark, whispers in the dark, all that fun stuff. Anyway, answers in the dark.
Should I be whispering?
No.
All right, Andy, let's do the break.
Sounds good. Everyone, get something to drink. Go to the bathroom. Contemplate on these deep truths, and come back rested.
And
go on.
I was going to say, this has been a wildly expositional episode. We almost definitely will be releasing, we'll be publishing, a summary and, documents and all the, the Roll20 handouts that we got.
Yeah.
And, we're going to make a document like that that'll kind of help people track along with everything that we were just trying to muddy our way through. So that's just kind of a promise that we will keep, definitely.
Hundo.
So so we're going to step away, take a brief break. We encourage you all to do the same, and then you can come back in just a few minutes and watch Helpful Goat, the only group that manages to get lost in the weeds, going to break. See you in a minute, everybody.
Hey everyone, welcome back. So, we just learned a whole bunch of stuff. Starting to put together the puzzle pieces of what's going on, who's involved, and it seems like it's boiled down to two forces: those trying to get Behelit into this world and those opposing it. And a lot of these factions are now falling into place about just which side they are on, or what side they seem to be on. And for the family, it seems like their fates are mirroring something that has already happened in this world, but sort of failed. And that is allowing this to happen on your own terms, under your own circumstances and situations, and then defeating it if necessary.
Car was jumping on Foley.
And Akari was jumping up and down on Foley.
Like a trampoline?
Like a trampoline.
Well,
oh my god. Is he awake yet?
He's not awake.
Charity very specifically made sure he was not going to be conscious for like a good while.
He was going to be out for a few hours, yeah.
Several
hours, yeah. Another round of tea and cakes are being brought by the different puppets set down in front of you with sort of clicking, ticking motions and sounds, and they retreat again to the different areas of this gigantic laboratory. The soft kind of yellow light of lamps bouncing off of the green jade at your feet is causing kind of a nice green glow around on everything. So, how would you like to continue?
So, Arbin, I think it's your turn to answer some questions, right?
Charity's
what kind of questions do you want from me?
Charity's gonna hold up his hand.
going over to him.
Charity's gonna hold up his hand. No, there was something in the writings. And he's gonna pull out one of the bounty flyers, or not bounty flyers, one of the journals of Silas Neverwoe.
Yes.
Israk, these... Vimeris told us that these were druidic, but he could not read them. What do these say?
These are the journals of Lias Neverwoe, the drow elf who killed Corin and Aurora. He was assigned that bounty by the Riddle Machina. Continue.
Also described himself as the deadliest creature in existence, which Vimeris and Charity both got a good laugh about after they'd killed him.
Yeah, after Vimeris killed him. I mean, you did a lot of damage, but Vimeris dealt the killing blow. Which was appropriate for his character arc.
Luckily. The puppet, hooded puppet, takes it, and sort of kind of puts it away from its face, and it sort of puts it close to its face and then further away. And then it sets it on the ground, and it begins to gather a few herbs from one of the tables down below with the help of another puppet. It sprinkles the herbs over the text. And you hear kind of a whispered chant just a little bit. And then it
fucking puppet.
And then the puppet wipes off the ground herbs and sprinkles it to the floor, and what's left is a little bit of a kind of black chalky residue over the words that you were having trouble with. And it simply says, whispers unseen.
Oh, well, that helps. Thanks.
Charity's eyes will flick back and forth. That feels like a lot of effort to hide that. Does that mean something to you, Israk?
No, it doesn't. Well,
What,
or rather,
bearing in mind
it
that
does
it's in the context.
seem familiar, as if I had purposefully forgotten it.
God
Oh,
damn
great.
that waterfall!
I mean, Laius was writing that he never should have joined the Riddle Machina. He never should have gone there. He's experiencing regret over it, wasn't he? And that's where he inscribed those runes. Whispers unseen. Huh.
Is it some way to deal with the Riddle Machina? If you never see them in the first place, would you ever forget them? That is curious. I sort of wish I would have remembered that.
Well, why did you make yourself forget then?
I know how you feel.
I used the waterfall to make me remember things. I don't know how you guys feel at all, and I am not on board with this.
Yes, the forlorn mind falls are beautiful things.
Wow, those things really did have different names. Huh.
What are they called?
We call them the Emerald Falls.
Oh.
And at one point, some elves traveling from... What's a stupid name? Some elves that we met on the road called them the Mysterium of Memory.
That's a better name, but...
There's also like a whole shtick there about buying emeralds, releasing emeralds, etc.
That's weird.
Right?
Yeah, it is weird and kind of misleading in terms of...
I didn't use an emerald, no.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's fine.
Alright, so Whispers Unseen. That's very helpful. Not. Burbage put his hand up to his mouth and said that to, I guess, Israk. Not.
So now do we question Urban?
What more information could Arbin have to give us? That's a genuine question. Arbin, what do you have? Tell us, or we'll have Hakari kill you or something.
Doesn't sound great. Listen, I don't know much else. I know some of the inner workings of the Pale Spiders, but that's about it. When was the last time you were in Fedaro?
Well, it's been quite a while, and my understanding is that something very bad might be happening there.
It's snowing every day in Fedaro.
I love snow!
Right. But that's bad for a coastal desert town.
Why?
It's not supposed to snow. It's hot.
It should snow everywhere.
Technically speaking, it's just dry, not hot. Deserts are defined by moisture, not temperature.
Well, Federo's hot. Federo's hot. So, it's weird.
Well, I mean, the precipitation alone would be...
I was asking Ponway about it. He seems to know what's going on, but he won't tell me. And I didn't like that.
What did Ponway send you here to do? To talk to Israk Devere or to kill him?
I told you that he sent me here to talk to him, but that's not true. I went on my own accord.
You came to talk to him because Ponway wouldn't talk to you, which, incidentally, Ponway not disclosing the truth is up there for most noticeable characteristic, along with the monkey.
Hey, here's a question. So if Ponway wants to end the Pale Spiders, want to bring Bahamut in on their own terms and then kill her right quick, right? Because that's what they want to do. Don't they need charity for that?
Pale Spiders had no idea that they'd chosen a vessel already. That seems very advanced in the process. I thought this would be something I told my great-grandchildren about, to watch out for.
Are you gonna tell them that they've chosen a vessel? Just a curious question.
He sort of now looks nervously around at all of you. Insight roll. It seems like good information to tell them, yes.
Huh. I'm gonna whisper into my sigil thing.
Charity's gonna kind of cover his head. Oh.
He's not leaving this cave. Whatever the fuck we're in. This is messaged through this.
Okay, to the family.
You're going to hear back. In all likelihood, no, he isn't. Charity is going to sort of... Make no mistake. I am Caloran Charity of the family. I will protect my family, and I will live the life that so many people have tried to take from me. I will not be giving it to Behelit or to those who seek to stop her.
But if they have a clone of you, maybe you won't have to.
But are they trying to clone me, or is the blood directly part of the avatar process?
I'm afraid for that you'll have to find the book.
Right. We need to find the book. Say, Arben, you suspected back on the iceberg that Foley might have been sent to kill you? Is that right?
I wondered it. He doesn't seem to be who he said he was, but he was the only friend I had on an iceberg. So I don't know, he also got kind of close.
Well, Foley is against Ponway. So Foley is on the side of Behelit, presumably.
He works for Yizak, doesn't he?
He works for Yizak, who is a representative of Behelit, at least if Shenex's correspondence is to be trusted. Speaking of which, I did mention in the last episode that I had some information about a potential bounty on somebody in this room. Israk Devere. I'm not going to withhold this from you because you seem like an alright guy, brain, puppet, whatever you are. Pretty sure Yizak has sent somebody to kill you. He said as much in a letter to Shenek, and I don't know if that person is Foley, in which case we have nothing to really worry about because he's incapacitated. But if it's somebody else, we might want to just, be wary, if you know what I mean.
One of the puppets moves on the other side of Arben and slowly looses the blades from the wrists and then just stands there.
He loosed the what blades from what wrists?
The puppets can pull their hands back and their wrists sort of blades emerge from them.
So blades just emerged?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Yizik's been trying to kill me for quite a while.
Why? How is he involved in this?
Rebellion against his father, I assume.
Are you his father?
You know how children are.
Guys, you know what to do. 3, 2, 1.
It just sounds like we can't. It just sounds like we can't breathe, you guys. It's not like gasping, really. We sound like we're dying.
Yeah.
So I guess that explains the whole name with a double Z in the middle of it, with a vowel initial, which not that common, honestly.
Yes.
Why does he have? Does 5 shadows run in your family?
What?
I read somewhere that he has 5 shadows.
Yeah. I don't. He only had 2 when I knew him.
Why does he have 2
What
shadows?
the hell?
Long story.
Do tell.
Whoa, no.
What is Yizik and how is he involved in this? And why the multitude of shadows?
Why is he bringing demons into this world and calling it a fire blight? I mean, we know that the fire blight is just rumors, and they create a cult just to spread misinformation to get people off of the truth, which is that Behelit is returning to this world. But yeah, how does Yizak fit into all this?
No, that's the thing. The fire blight. Ponway suggested it's not about destruction. The words that Rin said to him. Not all fire is meant to destroy. That's not about destroying it. It's about finding things. Maybe purifying.
Darcy just whispering suggested words in the background. So wait, are you saying
finding
that
what things?
What all is involved in this process? Do you need magic items or anything for it? Yes. I'm sure there are many items you would need very specifically. Do those items burn up easily?
For purifying things.
For purifying. I would say that no, they don't burn up easily. Magic items, powerful enough to summon a god into this world.
I had a piece of wood that wasn't supposed to burn, but then I put it in some hellfire and it definitely burned. You think I should go get my money back?
From that poor old man? No. He was so sad. Although I do hate that town.
Buy elsewhere. That was the name of his store. Buy elsewhere. In Melmond. Weird place. Alright, so wait. But Ponway is opposed to the fire blight, right? He was
His
just
number
saying
one goal
that
in the world is to save Fedaro from it. But if he had already known about all of this, shouldn't he have seen the signs that were leading to Behelit coming into this world? Bonway was among the brightest, even for his young age at the time. There's no chance that he does not already know and has not already put things into motion that would help prevent this.
He employed us. He gathered us. And he
to
knew...
bring Behelit into the world.
Maybe.
So if he's been keeping shit from you, Arbin, that kind of seems like maybe you should keep shit from him, right? He's a sketchy motherfucker.
Yup.
That doesn't understand. Why is he trying so hard to keep the Fireblight? Ponway was the one that led closing the doors and the borders and examining every single ship that came in. I think he's behind the snow, which I suppose is fire retardant.
Trixie.
But Ponway's been ousted from the High Priests. He's not a part of him anymore. They kicked him out, and I haven't seen him in a week.
Sounds like revenge.
Or a week before that I even left.
So who's in charge of the Temple of Rin now?
Well, that'd be Yizik.
Ah, you said Yizik. Damn it. Oh man, I knew it was going to be him.
And again, what's Yizik's role in all this? Like, why does he have a stake in this? Why would he want Bella to come?
Is he really just rebelling against you, Israk? Or does he, maybe have actual convictions and beliefs about power and magic and death and life and love and laughter?
No, I'm pretty sure he's one-dimensional.
Oh, okay. Well, that's easy then.
No, my son is under the belief that, well, it was good that Rin came into this world. That she did something, or prevented something, and left on her own terms. And that Behelit is here to do the same.
Legit, no one even knows what Rin did. I don't know how he can draw that conclusion. That seems really erroneous.
Well, the world did not be destroyed.
Well, we don't know that, right? She's a fucking goddess. She could have completely remade the world and you wouldn't know.
Ooh.
Well, wait
I had
a
not
minute.
considered that.
The one thing we do know, that I know, that I'm pretty sure about, that Rin did while she was here, is that she gave us a very powerful weapon. And if Corin and Aurora and Israk here could see into the future in some way and try to pass messages forward to try to affect the future, is it possible that Rin also could see what was to come after her with Behelit, and that is why she spurred Arian into going in search of Pelatoth's tooth? Did she know that tooth, that bright fang, would be needed in the fight against Behelit? And that is why she set in motion events that would lead to me having it, in which case Burbage will take one of the cushions, the beanbags, and put it back over him.
The gods see far differently than we do. They see into the future. They see all things. You are not hidden from them. Behelit knows you are here right now, speaking to me.
Haha, no, she doesn't.
Yeah, she might not. That's something we haven't told you yet. Charity, Stormbringer, who wants to tell? Hakari, do you want to tell him? Do you know what we're talking about?
She isn't.
All right, who wants to say?
She isn't able to see us. Or at least she wasn't. She was terrified by that fact. She mobilized a significant chunk of her forces in order to make us findable, to acquire my blood, I don't know.
That is some good news. If Behelit cannot see what you are doing, she cannot tell how you are moving against her, what your plans are. Keep them secret. Keep them to yourself. Trust only your family. Yes. Yes. This is good. This is good for you. Whatever the reason, make sure it continues.
Well, see, that's kind of hard, dude. That's really fallacious. Like, we don't know what the reason is, so how can we make sure it continues?
Okay, now we're back to bad again.
And
you should definitely know the reason why all of a sudden a god cannot see.
Look, I'm really bad at riddles, so I don't think that's very fair. Maybe
it happened twice. There have been 2 separate occasions of it from what we found on the dead bodies of her servants that came for us. One was when we killed an abomination, an Alhoon, in its cave. I do not know what else was related to it, but the second, and which is potentially included up until now, has extended longer. And it dates from when Vimeris encased himself in the ice.
I'm not sure what those things have in common. But whatever you're doing, keep it up.
Thanks.
You wearing the same socks? Or you have the same... Did you part your hair on the left side that day? Or whatever it is,
Wow.
don't change it.
You're extremely helpful with that. Thanks.
Israk, what's your connection with Tabletop? We talked to him, you know. And do you know how I might get my weapon back? He seemed like kind of a tough cookie, if you know what I mean. Right, everybody?
I would never say this to him directly.
Because he'd eat
But
you?
even I'm scared of Tabletop. He's a friend of mine. Old friend. Grew very weary with this world. I offered him a way to live out his days in peace, and he, in return, offered to be a gatekeeper for me. Mutually beneficial.
Cool. Sounds like a good arrangement. Good arrangement for you. Stormbringer had to lick your blue orb. That was weird.
Yeah, and now I'm gonna lick everything, because that seemed like a good way to solve
So
things.
thank you so much for that.
Yeah, thanks for giving me a new way to problem solve.
Wow,
Also,
we are going to need a seminar.
Arm wrestling and licking.
Charity looks like he's close to just beginning to weep into his hands. Burbage. The only comfort I might be able to provide, though I do not know if it is accurate, who the hell can with what we're dealing with. Gods are not fully understandable, right? You stopped at... Maybe Rin provided that weapon because it was going to be important for you to have it. But maybe the reason that it was important for you to have it was to return it to the dragon who had it taken from them. The dragon who now knows that a god is attempting to come into this world again. The dragon who didn't seem real pleased with the results of the last time a god came into this world. Because...
You might have a point there, Charity. Israk, do you think Tabletop might help us?
You would have to ask him, I'm afraid. I cannot speak for a dragon. They are very fine in speaking for themselves.
Yeah, but you're his friend. You know him. You know, you can give us kind of the lowdown, you know.
I know that he is very happy to be rid of the world of hate and prejudice and fear. You will have some convincing to do to ask him to return in any real capacity.
For someone who's against hate and prejudice and fear, he sure did have some hateful and prejudiced things to say about small people. Just saying.
Hey, it's not his fault that small people are often weak.
And deceptive and evil and
Did he say that?
Yeah, he said a bunch of things.
Oh, I don't agree with those things. I wasn't listening to him.
In his
gross
defense,
overgeneralization.
Everyone is small and weak compared to Tabletop the Fierce. He was not singling out halflings, of course. He quite enjoyed halflings.
True.
As an aperitif, or...
What was that?
As an aperitif, or...
Oh, no. He had quite a fond relationship with a female halfling. Forget her name. So long ago.
I just said it 5 minutes ago. Arian.
Forgive me, I am forgetful at times. Yes, that was it.
Arian. You're literally only a brain.
And thus, it takes up a lot of brain power to operate these machinations. And then you see the two puppets do a little dance where they raise their elbows in the air and then their knees, and then both their knees and their elbows at the same time.
Wow.
And then they stop.
That was amazing. You're amazing.
Thank you.
All right. Well,
So,
that
kick Foley away?
you want to question Foley now?
Yeah, we need to ask him about Yizik, and then we need to decide what we're doing with our buddies.
All right.
That sounded a bit threatening, by the way.
Oh, sorry,
Don't
it
want to
wasn't
meant
meant to be threatening.
but just a bit.
I'm so sorry, Irvin.
Everything she says sounds threatening. Have you seen her look at a pineapple?
They are delicious. So how do we wake Foley up? Kicking? Hard kicking?
Do we really want him awake? We did tie him up and everything, right? And
yes, he's completely bound.
Disarmed him, etc.
Yeah. Yep, you I mean, you want to go check it again or something, or?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Yeah, you walk over. You walk over.
If he's tied up and disarmed, we should wake him up.
Yeah, you walk over. His hands are behind his back. He's kind of laying on them, unconscious. You flip him over. His hands just flop out to the side. There are no restraints on him.
What? We totally tied him up.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Did he get out of his rope? I'm drawing my elven blade.
I'm totally drawing my axe and my shield.
What the fuck is going on?
You puppets untie him. Puppets, was this your doing? Do you untie him with one of your wrist blades?
Are there ropes there?
You look around. You don't see any.
Hikari, did you kick his ropes away accidentally? You kicked pretty hard.
I think so.
When you were jumping on him,
you did jump on him.
Did you accidentally cast some kind of rope disappearing spell?
Guess I could have. I'll look around. Okay, I find some ropes that I threw away in my passion.
There are no ropes.
Oh, there aren't? Okay.
That you threw away in a passion.
Is he still unconscious?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You want to double check him, or?
Yes.
I want to check him.
He's not moving. Yeah.
I want to check him to see if he has any magical items on him, or see if I think he does.
Can I check if he's unconscious first before you start touching him?
Sure.
It's a med check.
Sure. Yep.
9.
With a 9, he doesn't seem to be moving. He's either unconscious or dead. Probably unconscious. You think his chest is moving up and down?
15 for medicine from Charity, because he's now a little worried since he did the initial check.
Charity, you can tell that the breath is very slowed, that the heart rate is really low. He is probably completely unconscious due to that. You even poke him a little bit with a pin on a fingertip. Doesn't seem to react.
Pretty sure he's unconscious. Everyone keep watch on him. And then...
Yeah, I'm gonna beat him up if he tries to hurt you.
How would I check for, like, a magical item or anything that might have... I don't know. Particularly anything that would have, like, caused him to automatically become unbound? Because we tied him up after he was unconscious.
100%, yeah. Yeah, you could do an investigation check, see if he has anything on his person. 17? Yeah. And guidance, I assume?
Yeah, because I knew it was coming and I could wait long enough. 21?
21. Very nice. You search him really well. Besides his clothes, he has nothing at all on him. You know he had like a weapon and like some bolts and stuff. And you don't see any of that at all.
I'm gonna tie him back up.
He dropped the weapon, so he doesn't. You definitely don't. You didn't let him have that or anything like that. But sorry, and then Stormbringer, you're gonna tie him back up.
Yeah, and like watch him very, very closely. I'm just staring at him to see if the rope.
You bind him really well around the arms, the hands, the legs. You even tie the arms to the legs. He is really well bound.
I would also like to remind you that because I did really good checks against the patients or whatever her name was, and also with Roburn, like if this is a riddle machina, I should be able to make some sort of check to see if they're here.
Would be able to make a check, yeah.
Do I need to make that check?
You do not need to. No, you remember fully. You see fully in front of you. You look away. You look back. You remembered him the entire time he was there. Yeah.
Do we see anything happening with the ropes?
Nope. Well bound. Everything. Yeah, his arms, his hands, everything is tied up really well.
Guys, now that we have him tied up again, I think we can safely wake him up and ask him some questions.
No, this is not safe. Something's going on. I think we need to get Israk to safety and get all of us somewhere else, and then we can deal with this.
Oh, I'm not leaving. I can't anymore. My days of travel are done.
Literally, I can just carry your brain. You're fine. You don't need legs.
I need the contraption that I am in currently.
I can carry that too. I'm very good at carrying things.
You cannot carry the jade floor that it sits on. You cannot carry
Hey, I'm a Goliath.
Well, I know that Goliaths can carry double, as if they were a large-sized creature.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
Charity, this is looking around. What the fuck happens to everyone occasionally?
Hey, Israk, we met somebody who had a special sort of device, sort of object, that he told us that we could use to communicate with him from great distances. Would you happen to have anything like that we could use to communicate with you after we leave here? Because that could be very useful.
Oh. You would have to find a rabbit.
God, nothing's easy, is it? All right. A rabbit. We're just going to start writing this down.
Speak to the rabbit. Tell it that you know of the Jade Place. And that if they can get a message to Israk Devere, and then say the message, and that should get to me. Only rabbits, though, not jackrabbits or bunnies.
I think bunnies are rabbits.
Were you going for hares?
No, bunnies are foul creatures.
I think
they're not
the same
birds. They're
birds.
Rabbits.
Yes, rabbits.
What?
So it has to be an adult rabbit?
Sure.
Oh, okay. We're doing some of the heavy lifting here for you, aren't we, Israk?
Okay, but for real, you guys, I'm a little worried that, like, the Riddle Machina are coming to kill Israk, or they just took something important off Foley's body and untied him, or something else did that. I just think we need to shore up our defenses, like, right the fuck now, if we're staying here.
That's important.
We need to do something.
That's very important, but Israk, one more thing. How would we get a message back from you? Would it be a rabbit?
Christ.
You'd have
He's gonna be dead.
Listen for then a squirrel.
Listen for a squirrel?
Yes, an adult squirrel.
You know, Laius Neverwoe spent almost a year as a squirrel after his first attempt at killing Corin and Aurora. Little known fact.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Really interesting. All right, what were you saying, Snowbringer Mountain?
He's going to be dead, so there's no point in knowing how to send him a message.
Wait, Israk's going to be dead? Did I miss that?
What?
Why is he going to be dead?
Because they sent someone to kill him, and that someone's probably here, and we're just standing here like assholes.
I mean, you technically did bring him here with you, yes.
Well,
the person who killed him, sure.
I say we save Israk's life from whoever's been sent to kill him. I say that's our next mission, and then after that we travel to find the process Avatar Rama.
I don't think it ends in Rama.
Avatar Ferngully.
Yeah, Ferngully. We're gonna go find Ferngully.
The process Avatar Ferngully. Yeah. Unobtainium. Hey guys, remember when we got onto the iceberg and Hikari realized that we were further north than the furthest north continent called Far Nor?
I don't remember that part.
That was kind of funny, eh? It would almost be like if there was some really rare, unobtainable material being called unobtainium.
Unobtainium.
Is this relevant to the current
process Avatar Nama?
What?
Next to you, as you ask that question, Stormbringer, you're going to sadly hear Charity. No, it isn't.
Can we just, Andy? Can we just like wait? Can we just wait until somebody attacks Israk? Can we just stay here, pass time, rest, and wait for a fight? Who votes for that? I'm raising my hand.
I guess as long as we watch fully.
Hikari's on board. Always.
And any other information that we might need from Israk after we save his life, you're welcome, Israk. We can get through the whole rabbit squirrel situation.
That's true, yes.
Yeah.
I have a question for Israk, real quick.
I'll allow it.
Thank you. I was going to ask it anyway, but... In your opinion, Ponway, does he know what's going on, and is his attempt to keep Federo safe important to all of this? Perhaps, if Ponway understands what's going on, he may make it seem like he is only concerned with the Fire Blight, when actually he is concerned with what the Fire Blight is doing. And that's what? What's the Fire Blight doing? Seems to me like it's the quickest way to look for certain items. Have you, in your travels, ever come across a land that has been touched by this Fire Blight?
Yeah, like multiple times.
Oh, yeah.
Did anything survive the fires?
I got a wicked good magic axe from one of them.
Okay.
There was this sphere that survived the Fire Blight in Wickham.
It contained some sort of demonic cat with a revenge...
I got stuck in that sphere later and it sucked.
With a revenge boner for someone called Lucian.
Yeah, that was weird.
So are you saying that magic items don't burn up?
I mean, I don't think we can definitively state that, no.
Some magic items.
Some magic items don't burn up.
Yeah.
Powerful ones.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we can definitively state that either.
Durable ones.
Mine is a durable battle axe, and it didn't burn up.
So they're only burning down cities and villages and killing all these people just as a sort of sieve to find powerful magical items. Is that it?
It would make sense if the process requires such items. This would be one of the quickest ways to obtain them.
That's
I'm
bad.
not sure of it, but I assume after we used the items, we would have dispersed them throughout all the world.
You used the items for your process of bringing Rin into Maywin. Is that
Certainly.
Now they're gathering the same items or similarly powerful magical items to try to bring Behelit into Charity as a vessel. All right, and they're using the Fireblight or / fire elementals from the elemental plane to find said items.
That would mean that if Ponway believes that, there is something still very, very powerful in Federo. And he does not want it found. Of course, that's just a guess. Maybe he's just scared of fire. I don't know.
There is a being in Federo, under Federo, the voice of Behelit.
That's interesting. So Behelit has agents already in Federo.
He speaks for her.
I suppose they are looking specifically for then something. I'm sorry, I cannot tell you what would be in Federo.
I've been staring at Foley this whole time. Has anything changed?
Give me a perception check. $16. Nope. Unconscious. Tied up.
And still tied? Okay. And
Still
I can
tied.
see the ropes?
You can definitely see the ropes. Yep.
Okay.
You pull on them, make sure they're real. Yep. Totally real.
All right, so step 1, wait here for an assassin to be sent by the Riddle Machina to kill Israk Devere. Wait, why do they want to kill Israk? Because he has all this information that's going to help. I think it's probably because they know that Israk knows all of this, despite having gone through the Emerald Falls or whatever he called them. It's too late. We got the information. That's good. Okay, so we wait for somebody to come and we fight them, kill them. 2, we travel to the mountains, talk to the Goliaths, have a little chat, and get a hold of the process Ferngully. What's that other one? The other one that, the
Dances
Disney,
with Wolves.
Dances with Wolves, and the animated one with Sacagawea. Is that one?
Pocahontas.
Pocahontas, not Sacagawea.
This now feels a little racist.
No,
By the way, if you can't tell what Adam's doing, he's taking the movie Avatar, which is basically a copy of like Pocahontas and Ferngully and Dances with Wolves.
And every other white savior complex movie?
Yeah. And he's doing that.
The process Pocahontas.
The process Last Samurai?
Yep.
Yes, La Samarana.
La Samarana.
All right, and then step 3, we go to Federo and wrap all this up with some heroism and some good old-fashioned detective work, maybe probably in reversed order. How's that sound, everybody?
Sounds good. Should we wake Foley up and question him while we're waiting for somebody to attack us?
God help, yes, please wake him up. I have some questions for him. Hey, Foley! Foley, wake up! Somebody wake him up.
Goes, oh.
Yeah, I know, it hurts.
Eyes slowly.
Hey, Foley, how you doing over there? Doing all right?
He nods.
Yeah. You missed quite the chat we had with Isaac Devere here. It's very informative. A lot of things exposed. Truths. Revelations. The man who I inadvertently murdered 20 years ago, setting the rest of my life on a terrible track of travails. It's apparently actually alive. Wild stuff. Interesting stuff. So,
Charity's gonna go, no. He shouldn't be conscious.
Oh, well, he is. I guess I'm just good at waking people up.
No.
Good at turning people on, if you know what I mean. Yeah? Charity, what's the problem?
Something is wrong.
Should I kick him?
Foley, why are you awake? You shouldn't be awake right now.
Okay, real talk though, Stormbringer's gonna grapple him.
He's tied up and you just tackle
I'm just
him
making
to the
sure
ground.
that everything is safe, okay?
Yeah, all right. You tackle him
And
to the
now
ground.
that I have
you
him
put him
tackled,
in a...
I'm watching everything else for danger.
Yep, you're putting him in a chokehold.
Particularly watching for Riddle Machina.
He looks confused. You're looking around. Give me a perception check, Stormbringer.
Nat 20.
Yeah, that.
Amazing. Okay.
Stormbringer, your eyes and ears are attuned. You are listening for sounds that you even might forget. And you hear nothing at all besides the movement on this jade circle in this area. Not even...
And all the movement is accounted for by things I can see?
And everything is accounted for. You are very certain there's nothing outside of this area.
Perhaps it's nothing? Wait. Wait. I don't hear anything outside of this.
Right, you don't hear anything outside. Yeah, this.
Does that seem weird to me?
There is no other movement in this place. All the puppets that were downstairs have stopped moving. Everything else is quiet.
And that seems
every
fine.
Smell, every noise seems accounted for you.
And that doesn't seem weird?
No. I mean, it's a very quiet place, but you are completely underground. And it has been very quiet up in,
Rather, I guess.
Okay.
Besides the of like puppets every once in a while.
I'm going to sort of subtly slide my glance over to Arbin. Does this still seem like Arbin? Has something happened?
Do you mean to say, does this still seem like Foley?
No. Arbin.
That appears to be Arbin, yep.
Oh, you were asking Andy.
You don't see any change in Arbin. He kind of seems confused by all of a sudden all of the attention on Foley.
Listen, all right. Okay, everyone's jumpy. Foley, you'll have to excuse us. We're very jumpy because we understand that somebody has been sent by the Riddle Machina, you know who they are, to assassinate Israk Devere. Would that happen to be you, Foley? And also, we're also curious if you happen to have some kind of magical ability that allows you to wake up when you shouldn't. Does that make you feel better, Charity?
He just stares at you. Burbage.
Did you hear me? Foley,
nods.
can you hear me?
He nods. Slowly.
All right.
Can you talk?
Okay.
Yes.
Do you need a cough drop?
What his voice sounded like before?
Do you need some water? Here, I'm going to give you some water. All right, Foley? Because I know, this whole thing, I know that I started out my interaction with you on the iceberg by pointing at you and screaming. That wasn't really about you or me or what has transpired about us before. It's more about just our general sense of, what the fuck's going on. Now that we have more information, I've be willing to treat you with a bit more just common decency. So here, I'm going to pull out my water. I'm going to approach you very cautiously. I'm going to give you some water and see if that helps, maybe with the weird, throaty voice situation, all right? Do you want some water? And I'm just kind of right up to him.
All right. He kind of opens his mouth a little bit.
All right, here you go. Gonna pour some
I am
in.
prepared to, like, choke him out if he makes any threatening moves towards Bourbon.
Yeah, you still have your arm around his neck and stuff. You're definitely there.
Excuse my friends, we're just looking for answers. You know, we've faced so many dangers in our journeys. We've gone through travails, and it's just so concerning, So you have to understand why we're sort of nervous about the fact that you were out of your ropes and that you sounded really strange just now. I mean, we just faced a fucking dragon not an hour ago, so we're kind of on what's the phrase I'm looking for? Charity?
Edge? Guard?
On edge, on alert, on guard, all of this. Yes, absolutely. There you go. That was some good water for you. All right. Now, we're going to ask you again, can you talk?
He nods.
Oh, okay. Well.
What's your name?
Foley.
That is not what he sounded like before, right?
What?
Yeah, does that sound... Does that voice
sound? It sounds like Lena doing the demon voice. That's what it sounds like.
All right, I'm
Is
going
this
to
a fucking Rakshasa?
He's only said 2 words. It's a little hard to tell.
So you won't
Who did you introduce yourself to us as?
Foley.
No, you fucking didn't. Who the fuck are you?
All right, no more water for you, sir. No more water for you.
Talk, but
so you answer a question.
Charity, give me a perception check.
Working on.
Gotcha. You can have guidance together.
16.
16. The cave is still cold, even though it's much warmer than the iceberg. You can see the breath even coming out in little billows of steam on everyone. It's not uncomfortable, but it is cold enough. Foley does not have any steam. You cannot see his breath.
Is he respirating in the sense of, like, is his chest rising and falling?
Yes.
What
He does not seem to be having a physical at all reaction to cold. And hey, that concludes tonight's episode of Goats and Dragons. If you enjoyed this and are curious to see where the story goes, please follow us on Twitch, where we are simply Helpful Goat, or subscribe on YouTube at Helpful Goat Gaming. We are a small independent game design firm and could use your support. Thanks everyone so much for listening tonight. We hope we could brighten up just a little bit of these dismal times with some intrigue and secrets. And hey, if you want to listen to our hundreds of hours of play and the story thus far, you can find us on at Goats and Dragons, anywhere you get your podcasts. And if you like us and you want to hear us play other games too, we play some video games every once in a while on Twitch as well as on YouTube. And we also have Helpful Goat Gaming Presents, which are much smaller snippets of all of this. So anyway, all of that, thank you for being with us. Thank you for your support. We love you guys. Hang in there. And from all of us on Goats and Dragons, we wish you an excellent evening. Good night.
Good night, everybody. Stay safe.
Good
Be
night.
well. Love y'all. Hope you do. Hope to see you again soon.
Yeah.